Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Conversations at the Well. I'm here with my beautiful bride, Desireé. How you doing, baby?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And today we are going to get this thing started back again with a topic that's been kind of near and dear to our heart.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Vernon. Hey y'all. My name is Vernon Brown. But today we're going to be talking about the responsibility
of yes.
So stick around, grab you a cup of coffee, whatever your drink of choice may be. It may be something stronger today. You never know. But we'll see you at the well.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey, love.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's been a while.
It's been a really long time. I think we last recorded it in
I got
March.
receipts. Let me see. I got receipts. Keep
I think
going.
it was in March.
I'm going to bring up YouTube.
It was before our anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a while. And there's been a lot of things that have been going on, and so I don't know. Today I was like, let's go. Let's just record. So I'm gonna give you a heads up that we are gonna be winging it a little bit today, but that is okay because the Lord ordereth our step at this.
Lord, don't order no foolishness now.
No, it won't be that. It won't be that.
Our last one was 4 months ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
4 months, you've been slacking. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's been a lot going on. I mean, for those that are in the local area or those who are connected to us in like real life, you know, we've been growing some things.
We've been making babies over here, y'all.
We are expecting our third child, but our first girl in just a few weeks. And so we are super, super excited about
Which
that.
I don't think we've talked about how that happened.
How it happened.
Well, maybe not how it happened, but what led up to it. Have we talked about that?
We haven't talked
that is
about
an episode. Put that in your back pocket.
Okay.
All
right. So, but yeah, I mean, so we're here. I am currently, I think I'm officially 9 months pregnant. Is that it?
Wait, we're recording this on August 2nd.
Yeah.
And your due date is when?
September 6th. I'm 35 weeks today.
So you
I'm pregnant.
If you was a turkey, the little red thing be popping out.
Oh, it's about to go down. Well, up or, out.
Out.
It's about to go out. It's going to be a good thing.
I miss these.
Yeah, me too. So this is good. We've been so all of that stuff has been going on. You all know we started with a new church, and so getting our footing there.
Oh my gosh. Was that the last time we talked?
Yeah, there were massive changes at my job.
We got so much to catch up on.
Massive changes at my job. And I have now switched jobs. Life has been...
And you've been leaving everybody out to dry.
Leaving y'all out to dry. But that's okay. We will not be able to catch you all up on everything that has happened. That's just going to be the summary. We're going to leave it at that, I guess. Just
know this may be one of our last episodes without having like random baby screams in the back.
Yeah, or just not random baby
crawling through.
Or just being here.
Bouncing on the knee.
Yeah.
Talking in the microphone.
That might be happening.
Cool.
So it's cool. But we're glad to be back. So as I was thinking about what we should talk about today, it was actually something that you said.
What'd I say?
Or something that you have been thinking about for some time. And so you want to introduce the topic?
I want to hear you do it, and I'll add color commentary.
Okay. So
that's my role.
The responsibility of yes. The responsibility of yes. And that sounds kind of weird, like when you just put the phrase out there like that. But we've kind of touched on it. Like when you commit to something, or when you say yes to something and you make the commitment that you're going to do something, it doesn't come with no strings, right? There has to be, you're saying, I am going to do this thing that I'm saying yes to. Okay, you're not doing a good job. I'm going to do it. So the responsibility of yes is like, so I think there's so many things in our life that we want to see happen. There's so many dreams or goals that we have. If you want to be churchy about it, there's like, the Lord is calling me to do X, Y, and Z. You know, all these things that we hear. But where I was kind of coming from, or where it was maybe mini conviction, maybe we can call a little bit of that. For me was like, I always like to say I want to always be a person that will raise my hand and say yes. But the responsibility of yes doesn't just start when you feel like it starts, but it starts with what actionable steps are you taking after you've made the decision to accept the mission. And so a lot of times we're like, yes, I want a new job. Well, what are you doing? Yeah.
Or yes, I want to be a better husband. Well, what are you doing? And so the responsibility of saying yes in these areas comes along with different tasks and different things you need to do to prepare and to be ready for it. So I thought it would be a good, or you thought rather. I thought it was a sermon, but anyways,
it's still a sermon.
It might not be, because I might use it all.
Still a
Might use up all the oil right now. But just talking about when we're walking into new seasons, what does it look like to say yes, and what does it look like to truly walk into those things? So, for example, you can say yes to having a kid and do the fun stuff, but are you prepared? Like, how are you preparing yourself? Not just by buying stuff or assembling a nursery or whatever, but what skills do you need to have? What conversations do you and your significant other, baby mama, whatever it is, need to have about how you're going to bring this person into the world? And what are some of those traits or personality items or skills or whatever you want to begin praying about even now, so that it becomes what you're looking for? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I know we said we were going to save it for another episode, but I kind of feel like maybe just talking about how we got here as far as with the baby, not the actual act. We're not going to discuss that.
You sure? I made some graphic. No, I'm kidding.
You graphics for your educational awareness. No, but like
face north for. Anyways, okay, go. Trying to drop game here.
Well, I mean, I guess you know now, because you have successfully. This is the third mission that you have successfully completed.
I'm good at it now.
So, well, anyway, I think
bring us back, please.
Yeah, I think it may, because this was a responsibility. This was a call, if you will. Because it started.
I thought it was just Netflix, and I'm sorry. I'm back. Okay. Go ahead,
it's been a while. He just needs to be on his
get all my
best behavior.
This is all stored up. I gotta get it out. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
So as we mentioned, we're in August of 2025. This all started in March of 2024. And you might be saying, wow, that's a very long pregnancy. That is not how that worked. So in March of 2024.
We did have an episode about this kind of sort of. We talked about going to transformation. We
did, yes, but we didn't go into this part.
We have a podcast episode where we talk about going up to Transformation Church. If you haven't watched it, watch it. But this kind of all flows into that.
Yeah.
Make sense, baby.
So
midway through the trip,
we drove out there. We live in Mississippi. We were going out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and so we stopped in Arkansas, and
of all places,
it was halfway kind of. And it was at the Presidential Library, which was cool, whatever. But they have a pretty nice restaurant there, and it's one of those nicer places where people go for celebrations, like bridal showers, and I don't know, maybe I was gonna say baby showers, maybe. But like just kind of for celebratory type of things there. We just were there for lunch, but we're seeing these bridal parties and these girls with the bachelorette veils.
And I opened up my big mouth
and all of this stuff. Now, but that was in August of 2024.
Okay.
So I remember I said it started in March.
Okay, what happened in March?
So in March, I was just in my prayer time, regular old day, nothing spectacular about the day except for this conversation that I had in my prayer time. In my prayer time, I'm minding my business. I'm just thanking God for all the things, right? And he says, pray for your daughter. And you all who know us know at that point in time, we had sons, two sons. And so I was kind of like, Lord, you talking to me? Like, what do you mean pray for your daughter? And I thought that was such an odd ask at that time. But I said, all right. My husband would have said, you should have said.
What you mean, God?
What you mean by
what
that?
You talk about, God?
But I just said, okay. And
she got blind
praying.
obedience. I got questions. I'll be like, wait a minute. This ain't adding up. I got questions.
I usually do have questions. I don't know.
She don't have the right questions. She'd be like, what should I pray for her, Lord? For who? Baby here?
Well, that was the crazy part. It was no baby. So at this point in time, I said, okay. I said, what should I pray for? And like, there were things that came to mind. I wrote it down. So this is my prayer journal. Actually, it's not in this book. It's in the previous version of this book.
If you start seeing it floating or glowing, don't mind it. It just does that sometimes.
And so I started praying. Oh, look, it's a butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
I started praying for her, which was wild because at that point she had not even been.
Meanwhile, I'm
conceit.
probably in the bed dreaming about driving a race car.
Probably.
Like not having any idea of any of this stuff going on. So I'm a huge advocate of trying to filter your spouse's prayers because you have no idea what's going on in that prayer closet.
But here's the thing. It was an act of obedience because I had it just seemed to have come out of nowhere.
Disobey. Is that
who you're going to be?
Go ahead.
You need to fix it.
Okay. Go ahead. So that's March. You praying behind my back.
I pray behind my back and behind his back. And the crazy thing is that I pray behind his back and I felt immediately felt guilt just come over me because I knew at that time he was very adamant. We are 2 and done. This is we're good. We're closing up shop. Matter of fact, I'm about to make my appointment, all that kind of stuff. Like he was very to not have any more kids. And I told God, I said, oh, Lord, I'm so afraid because I just prayed this and I know you listen to me. So I need you to either take this out of me or you need to put it in his heart. Put the desire in his heart.
This is why we need to filter our spouse's prayers.
You don't need to do that. So in any case, that was March. I didn't mention it to him. I didn't say a thing. It was in my heart. The desire had always been there, but it was kind of, I had been like, okay, but 2 is enough. It's fine. We're good. I don't know how I'm going to even do 3 kids. Like how, I still don't know, but the Lord, he asked. And so I also know he'll provide. So
plotting against these 2, just going plot against me together.
In the Lord?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll be on his team.
She was like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so
that's March.
That's March. Fast
April,
forward.
May, June, July.
April, May, June, July.
August.
5 months later.
5 months of
5
deceitfulness.
months later.
Deceit. Half truths.
It come up periodically
Lies.
here and there. And I was like, Lord, then stop it. Like, take it out of me. This is when we're at the restaurant we were talking about. So restaurant, they're having the bridal showers, and he says,
"No. We got to set the tone." So we're driving to Transformation Church, expecting to have this great move of God.
And did.
We're having these conversations
and
give me your hand. Sharing our emotions and talking
did.
about all of these things, and we say, "Hark! Look over there at the star in the east, over the presidential library." And so we go and see the Magi and the 3 wise men. I'm kidding. We go to the presidential library. She was like, wow, that escalated quickly. We go to the presidential library. And so we're seeing all these people. And me, we're in this conversational mode. So I'm like, let me earn some husband points by starting this loving conversation. So I'm like, love. And my love says what? Yes. I said, do you ever regret not having the whole bridal shower moment with your daughter? Having that moment and dressing her up and picking out dresses and all of this stuff. And it's like, her face was like the cat that got caught with a hand in a cookie jar. The tears start running. And I'm like, what did I do? Go ahead, Miss Guilty. Take it from there.
So it was the craziest thing because I literally just had the thought before we got there or on the way at some point. And he read me like...
I didn't read it. I was just trying to have conversation.
He did not know he read me. He did not know he found my letters and read each one out loud. Shout out to Miss Hill and Roberta Flack. Anyway.
It actually is so fitting because we're 4 months late. So... I'm sorry. On that Lauryn Hill time. Go ahead.
Aw, bless it. Anyway, that's a whole story for another day. But... yeah, so that opened up the floodgates. And at that point, I just cracked. I just everything that I've been holding over the last 5 months, just I told him everything.
And I started checking my pockets for the little neuralizer in Men in Black to try to reset time and go back. Can we put this genie back in the bottle? No? Okay. All right. I guess I got to deal with this then.
Yeah. So it was words. It was tears. It was a lot of stuff from one simple question.
And I couldn't even get away because we were halfway between Mississippi and Oklahoma. So we stuck in the car.
Needless to say, there were several conversations that happened over the course of that trip because we still had to get there. Then we had a couple days in Tulsa, and it was just and things kept coming up. And even I think I mentioned that when we were at the church, we had this incredible, just spirit-filled encounter at the altar, and we're praying. I'm on the floor. I'm prostrate, laying down for those who don't know that word, because who knows that word?
Prostate?
Prostrate.
Oh, okay.
I'm laying down, okay? And I'm just like completely humbled and submitted before God. And this woman came behind me and she started praying. And I don't even fully remember everything that she said. Matter of fact, I don't remember anything she said other than the little girl inside of you. Something, something, something. And so one could take that as me being the little girl, like my former self, or it could be the little girl who's literally growing inside of me at this point. I wasn't pregnant at that time, but that was, it was big and magnificent. And so coming off of that trip, we still were having more conversations, a lot of what ifs, like what if we do this and it's a mother or boy? That's obviously a possibility. Like, what if we do this and something goes wrong? Like, all of the things, all of the fears, we addressed them. But my thing was still like, well, God said do this. And I feel like, he said do it. We should do it. It didn't eliminate any of the fears, but there was also some assurance that it was supposed to happen. Long story. Oh, that was this is still a long story. I'm saying long story short, but it's still a long story. Fast forward. We ended up deciding, okay, we're going to do this. Because that was my thing. I was like, I'm not going to go into this without him. Like I didn't want to go without you. Mm-hmm. That was important to me because who does that? Well, a lot of people do that, but I didn't think that was appropriate in our marriage to like use trickery mm-hmm. or to, manipulate the situation in some way. Like I wanted you to be on board. And when you got on board, it was like, it didn't even take long. Right. So, should I go TMI on them?
I don't know what you're about to say.
Birth control.
I don't know where you're taking that.
I don't even know where that.
But go ahead.
I was on birth control. I got off of the birth control around September, and by December, I was pregnant with this little person. Yeah. So then there was
that was your TMI?
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
Oh.
So then, I cut. It was just I didn't share.
God has some TMI, but you don't.
Don't want your TMI on this podcast, no sir. But anyway, that like it took no time, and literally on December 31st of 2024, that is when I found out that I tested positive for being pregnant. So we went into this new year.
That could be like a provocative cliffhanger. On December 31st, I tested positive. Yeah.
Well, you can cut it how you want to. I'm going to keep going. Oops, I just hit the microphone. But so we've known this entire year that we were expecting a child. And, of course, when you're expecting a child, there's a lot of excitement, but there's a lot of angst and all of that stuff. For me, I get nervous. And I just was like, God, please just let the baby be okay. Let this be a healthy pregnancy, all these different things. And I remember hearing clear as day, she's okay. And this is before we knew the sex of the baby, before taking all those tests and whatever. But I knew because God told me she's okay. Not only did he assure me that she's okay, but also that she's a she. And I was very happy about that. So, of course, family and friends that knew at that point, which wasn't many, they're like, oh, what do you think, boy or girl? That kind of thing, as you do for most pregnancies. And I was like, y'all can say what you want, say what you will, but it's a girl. So, but I've just been very grateful. And I also feel very, like, it feels like a call. Like, it feels like it was an ask of God. And he just made it happen. Took a few months.
Without my consent.
He don't need your consent.
I'm just putting that out there.
He was like, who's Lord here? So, but he and I were on the same page. So
right. just conspiring against me. I don't know if I like this.
But I'm just so excited to see who she's going to become. Like who she is and who she's going to become. And the fact that the Lord was like, no, you need this baby. Come on. Like, I need you to chop, get on board. It's, I don't know. It feels like a miracle, a modern day miracle. And I know people have babies all the time, but I just think like when you really, really think about how this happens, even from a scientific perspective, it is absolutely miraculous. And so to be the bearer of this miracle is just amazing. And she kicks me right now. So she's like, yes, mommy, speak on it. So yeah, so we're having a baby. It's a girl. So talking about the responsibility of yes, though, that was a very long intro.
Very. I was wondering how you're going to tie it together.
Well, there's a yes that happened. There was an ask and there was a yes. Pray for your daughter was the ask. There was a response. Okay, did so. And then all of these other things transpired from that. And so if we're thinking about...
that's good. Gotta preach.
If we're thinking about like the responsibility of yes, I think the first part of it is just from a spiritual perspective is, well, first of all, hearing the question.
Yeah. I think hearing the question, number one, acknowledging that there are concerns or issues or problems that are in the way too. But number three, taking the responsibility of saying yes to the first step and trusting that God will take care of the rest. And trust, maybe it's not trust, maybe it's faith that God will take care of the rest, because, you may not trust that he's going to do it. You may not have any evidence that he's going to do it, but by just taking the first step and continuing to step forward, even if you can't see where your feet are going, that's the faith that God needs to keep blocking and tackling and moving things out of the way.
Yeah. And it's interesting because from the moment of yes, immediately after yes, there was fear that came in immediately. Almost the same sentence. Like, yes. Oh my God. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that's a nuance to you, because you just might not be crazy enough to recognize you should be afraid when the question comes.
Maybe so.
I think most people would have been like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'll pray.
Well, my question was more like, are you talking to the right person? Like, it was so outlandish that I was maybe caught off guard a little bit. Like, where is this coming from? And I think I asked, like, are you talking to me? Because I have two sons. And so, but I knew it came through. And I was like, well. It's
like Abraham and Sarah, I am an old man.
Right. I mean, that was also a fear too. Like, I had a birthday too. Y'all, it's been so much going on. I am in my last year of my 30s now. And so that was also
39 and fine.
Yes. There was a lot of those questions too. And like,
well, Janet did it at 50.
She did. I'm sure she had a lot of help, and she definitely had a lot of money to help her along her way. But we blessed, but not in that particular manner. So, there were immediate concerns, and then just seeing how God like stair-stepped that thing. Every time the thought would come up, like, oh, it would really be nice to have a baby, a daughter. And then immediately I would shut it down, like, He said, no, my husband not on board. We cannot do this. And God hearing even that prayer, even that concern, like, if you want this to happen, I need you to make it happen. Like, I need you to not just make it happen, but I need my husband to be on board. Because it would have been another thing for me to be pregnant, and then we hadn't had any of these conversations. So he like made ways for that was such a very specific question that you asked me. You didn't really know what was behind door number one. But it was such a specific question that it was only God like, all right, it's time. This is the time. We're going to talk about this. We're going to put it all on the table, and all of that stuff. So it was, I guess my point is, hearing the questions, the first step, like you said, acknowledging the concerns, but letting God work through those things. That's one of the responsibilities. So
what I think I hear you saying is the how is not really your responsibility. The yes is.
Ooh.
And maybe to be more specific, the how is not, the obedience is.
Yes.
And sometimes we take far more ownership than we should and far more responsibility than we should.
That's all.
Whereas it's just your responsibility is to, one, be in a position where you can hear, and two, when you're asked, to be obedient. Yeah. And then let him sign for the rest of the checks.
That's correct. One of my favorites, Dr. Charles Stanley would say, obey God and leave all the consequences to him. And he would say that all the time. That was one of his many teaching principles. But it has proven correct over and over and over again that when you do obey, God does, oh, this mountain, oh, you think it's in the way? Cool. No problem. It's gone. Just like that. Or, oh, I got I'm guiding you around it, above it, whatever. Like I got you. Don't even worry about it. That's nothing to me. And so I think that was, I don't think that was my intent, but obviously my heart was there to be like, okay, whatever you say, Lord, that's what I'll do. But there's been many women, or at least a few written about in the Bible that we know of. And then I'm sure just outside of the Bible has happened time and time again where a baby was brought upon a woman. Like it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about having a baby and let's do this thing. But like there were a few instances biblically where somebody was minding their own business and then
surprise.
Yeah. Like this time next year, you're going to have a baby. And it is that's so interesting. I never even put that together, but I can say, oh, it happened to me now. So I'm just really like, who is this person where he had to come and say, I need you to do this for me. Wow. Yeah. Other responsibilities of yes. Do you have any other things that we can bring out of this particular example that we need to bring up?
I think from my perspective and point of view, I think the responsibility of yes is not just saying like, okay, she had this dream or whatever, this experience, now we're in it. Like, if you're going to say yes, then say yes. And what that looks like for supporting spouses, no matter what the assignment, task, or whatever it is, looks like, is to, if you're going to say yes. And don't half-butt it or don't get drug along. But it's almost, disobedience is never better, but it would probably be better in the long run for you to say no to something that you're not willing to do than for you to say yes to something that you're not willing to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times we, in relationships, say yes to things that, we either don't think is going to work, or we think that it's just going to be a fad or a trend, or hey, they'll get over this, and we just say yes. But when the rubber meets the road and this becomes a lifestyle and it's actually real, you now hung out here, and you got to fix your face for the camera.
That's for sure.
So I think another responsibility of yes is, I think there is a faith journey portion of it, but then there's also, if you're going to say yes, you say yes to everything, and yes to the twist, and yes to the turns, and yes to the things that, go off the rails sometimes, and recognizing that it's not going to be all bad. It's not going to be all good, but you're in it for the ride, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's probably a horrible example to align with a child.
No, I think it's absolutely, it makes, especially in light of all that has transpired over the last few months, where things got really uncomfortable for a minute, and even still, we're still riding some of these things out, which God is going to work these things out, and so we will be able to talk about it in the podcast at a later date. But it got a little tight around the collar in a few ways. And so it's like, I guess it's important. I'm glad you brought that up, because it's important to say that it hasn't been all rainbows and butterflies the entire time. Like, I was sicker this pregnancy than I had been before. I have dealt with some like physical not just like feeling sick, but also like physical pain with this pregnancy that we could not have anticipated. There's just been some there's been some financial things that have come up over the last few months. And so it's just been like, for context, y'all, we got a few cars, and like all of them got something going on. All of them. And not that we're not like stupid rich or anything, but what we have, we're grateful for it. We got at least one that drives, but it don't have air conditioning, and it's Mississippi heat. And so there's that. So we have just been walking through all of this, and it's impacted you. You could have thrown it in my face and been like, well, you wanted this. You wanted this child. You asked for this child. You prayed for this child. And now you got to deal with your sickness, and you got to deal with this pain and all of that stuff. That could have easily been something to throw back, because you kind of got
ambushed.
You got pulled along as opposed to you coming up with the idea.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful that you didn't do that.
And I think that goes back to the responsibility portion. Like you can't. So Dion just had his health issues with bladder cancer or whatever. And one of the things that he said that I thought was really astute was, he was like, I never said, why me? Why did I get cancer? Because if I said, why did I get cancer? Then I also have to say, why did I get chosen to be a Hall of Famer? Or why did you give me all of these God-given abilities? Or why have you given me the opportunity to work with so many amazing people? And so the responsibility of yes is not just when it's convenient or when it's your idea or what you want. But if you're going to be in it, you got to be in it. And recognizing that all of these things work together, and no matter what your relationship with God is at any particular time, you have to recognize, well, you don't have to, but it would be wise for you to recognize that in many of these situations you've been chosen or picked for this.
Wow.
And so for me, who had no idea what you were talking about and just thought I was having a conversation, like in that time, and I don't know, because I waffle so much, but I probably felt like really far away from God. But in that same moment, he's like telling me what to say. And so I think it's like a cool moment to be, to recognize in hindsight that even if you feel far, like he's still there with you, because he's never left you and he lives inside of your heart, but he's still also close enough to impact your affairs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I think we all recognize thoughtfully that God is with us and lives within us, but sometimes we desire for his hand to be more visible or evident or tangible in our lives. And I think that part of God being a great father is giving you what you need when you need it. And part of that is just showing up sometimes in spite of you, to give you breadcrumbs or give you signs or give you wonders that, no, we still rocking this thing on out, and I'm still riding with you.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, and also just like as parents ourselves, we realize we don't tell our kids like all of the things.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're just like, no, I need you. Like, it's not even I need you here. It's like we're just already there. And then they know. Yeah. Then they recognize like why all these other things had to happen, why you had to get dressed, why you had to put your shoes on, why you had to get in the car. And our kids are good at asking, where are we going? But we're just like them. Yeah. Where are we going?
Yeah. What's going on?
What's going on? Why do we have to do this? God can handle those questions. And sometimes he's silent in responding to those things, because he's like, I really don't have to answer you. Same way we are with our kids. Like, I really don't have to answer you. I just know that I love you and I need you to trust me.
And I think that I don't have to answer you isn't always so legalistic and mean. Like, sometimes we're like, you don't have to answer me because you're just like this big God dude. But also, I don't have to answer you because we've been through this before. Like, especially when our kids are like, hey, we're so hungry, we're gonna die, can you feed us? It's like, bruh, first of all, I'm looking at you, you're not about to die. But second of all, we go through this all the time. And I think something that a lot of us can do better is setting up those pillars or those monuments of where God's shown up before.
Yes.
I was talking to Trent, and I didn't tell you about this. You asked me about this, and I sidestepped it. But one of the things we were talking about is just like in these difficult times when stuff seems to be like hitting the fan and all of those things, like remembering, even in the midst of this, where God's come through and God's been there for you. And I think we can always do a better job of remembering those things. The reason why I said that was because even in the midst of this, like that experience, although I was a pawn in that conversation, I would rather be a pawn being touched and moved by God than to not be in the equation at all.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's a monument or a pillar, if you will, of God using, I guess, me for us and all of that. So
Yeah.
that should be something that's written down. It's still not written down, quite frankly, but I need to write that down as maybe I need to like make up my own little book of just stuff to remember.
I thought about that because, they have rocks in the Bible, like they set up stone monuments. And I don't think that maybe that's not the way, but like perhaps there can be like a version of that, like where you have a stone and on it is written, like you put the testimony there and you just like put it in a place where Matter of fact, I think that's a really good idea. We can do something like that and put it like in a
even
visible
if it's on,
place.
like the little board, like just to have sticky notes on there that just say all of this stuff that God's done, because it's so easy in the midst of your problems to forget.
Oh, it's so easy.
Yeah, like and I told you, like when I was in here one night setting up for an event or something, and I was fussing at God, and he was just like, "Why is that funny?"
What does that even look like? But okay, go ahead.
It looks very animated, but he was just like, why would I give you this whole building or this, what I've given you, and not take care of you? Like, and so stuff like that are things that we should hold more tightly onto.
Yeah.
But we allow the disruptions and the distractions of life to kind of push those things down. And we're aware of them still, but it's like, no, that should be a big moment that we hold on to, for God to take time out of his day to be like, hey, you're struggling, you're crashing and burning right now. Let me give you something to keep you going.
Yeah. And I think that even with this, as scary as it was,
Podcast?
the baby.
Oh.
Even the podcast.
Have you told them their name?
No, do you want to? You can do the big reveal.
No, you can. You came up with it, didn't you?
It was a joint effort.
Yeah, because you had like Vernita and
I want you to keep going. I want you to keep going.
Vernificent.
So, and everybody who watches this,
and
everyone who's watching this knows exactly who came up with those names. We'll
our
talk
baby
about
girl's name is.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Her name is Christina Michelle. Christina Michelle is a name of. It's pretty significant. Not pretty. It's significant. I think in the sense of its meaning. I think in the sense of just even how we came to it. Should I go into that, or we'll just leave it there?
Leave it there. We got a lot of episodes to catch up on.
We do. But Christina Michelle Brown is her name, and so I guess we'll introduce maybe her at some point.
That'd be so fun.
Well, we still haven't introduced the other kids, so like there's that.
No playing favorites.
Yeah, so we have to figure that out. But yeah, that's her name. So very happy
Maybe
to meet
I'll
Christina.
do that. I can have a podcast with my boys.
Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome.
That would. Okay, there's fear. There's fear. My first thought is like, what are they gonna say?
Aaron's just gonna go.
He's gonna go.
We're gonna need a mute button for Aaron.
But definitely, because he just go. Sometimes
So
we don't
actually,
know where. Yeah, they're really funny. So yeah, maybe we'll do that at some point,
That's gonna
like
be
over
so
the
fun.
next few weeks, months, maybe.
I'm excited.
But what was I saying? I forgot what we were talking. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't know either.
But I think you did bring up another responsibility of is remembering what God did before.
Yes.
Remembering what God did before, like having whether you rely on your memory or you set up something tangible to remember what God has done, that is, I think, paramount for faith and for growth of faith, because sometimes God asks us to do hard things, and we could be like, I do not feel equipped for this. I did not feel equipped for this. I did not feel equipped to be the mother of a daughter. I know people might think that sounds crazy, but like I just think it requires a different type of parenting, a different type of showing up, a different type of, you gotta move a little differently with a girl. Obviously being a parent, like there's things that you need to do, but I feel like as a woman parenting a girl who is growing into a woman, like there's like that's heavy. There's a huge responsibility for that, in my opinion. And so I just was like, Lord, I don't think I'm qualified for this role, but he's like, no, I need you for this. And I'm like, okay, well, you have to walk with me. And I've been praying ever since for us to be prepared, but for me to also be prepared and to have wisdom and discernment and guidance. And just, I'm trusting God to step me, like just, even if it's a little breadcrumb here, whatever, but just like he's done it with my boys, he's doing it with my boys, I know he'll do it with our daughter too. So any other things we want to cover in this?
I think that was a lot.
Yeah, I don't even know how long this one is.
We're at 43 minutes.
That's actually not bad.
Probably like 40 after we cut out some of the stuff in the beginning.
Yeah, that's really not bad. But there's responsibility of yes. And this is just one way, because God has asked us to do some really different things. We always talk about moving to Mississippi, starting our businesses, like getting married. We even talk about that in as much detail as we could. Like there's been several, I need you to do this, accepting your call and getting ordained and all of that stuff. And he stretches us. But I think the growth that we've experienced, it hasn't been without its downs. It's definitely been a journey, but God has been with us every single time. And so I can rely and trust and know that God is with us in this too. And so I'm really, I don't know, I have a lot of peace in, okay, all right, Lord, we're going wherever you're taking us.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Wrap us up?
No, go ahead.
Well, thank you so much for joining us after this 4-month hiatus. With Conversations at the Well. Hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully, no matter what you're going through in your life, what's being asked of you, what you think is being asked of you, you will not only say yes, you will not only be obedient, but you will also recognize the responsibility of yes and pass your test or go through whatever it is that you're going through with flying colors. And we want to hear about it too, so drop it in the comments, what you're going through, what changes is happening in your life. Y'all never comment when we tell you to comment, but I'm gonna still keep asking until somebody comments. But we will see you next time on Conversations at the Well.
All right, y'all. Bye.